Hey everybody, we're back on part 2, which is textures. So once you have your basic blend together, as you can see I have mine done, we're going to go ahead and incorporate textures on top of all the layers. So if you want, you can group your layers here. So I'm just going to go ahead and group them. Control G, and I actually have the background layer up here, but I don't have the same images, but I want to keep it somewhat similar. So I'm just going to keep that there for reference. So go into your textures, and you use whatever textures you have. I'm just going to go ahead and find a nice scratch stock texture. And when I say scratch, I mean like these lines here. I have little white lines throughout. So I'm just going to drag two random ones here, just so that they'll be on top, and see which ones I like more. That one up here. So I'm going to use these two, and then of course I'm going to incorporate my images on top. And I have this here opened again. I just moved it to my other one. So now you're going to go ahead and grab stock textures, any ones you want to use. I suggest using ones that you like. For me, I don't really have any that I don't have the same ones that I had before, like I said earlier. So we're just going to go ahead and just drag random textures onto the image, and then we're going to go ahead and play with the blending modes to try to blend them in more. So I'm just going to drag these out. Usually they open up kind of not at 100%, so you can just move them around. I'm just going to rotate this one 90 so that it kind of fits, and I'm just going to fit the image. And I'm just going to continue to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and just keep moving more on. None of them have to be perfect. Like I said, you just want them to be somewhat. So we're going to start, and I'm going to set this one down to soft overlay, and I'm going to add a layer mask. Grabbing a round brush tool, soft bristled. So I'm just going to reset my brushes. I'm going to click one and see how the hardness, you want it to be at 0, and your size is going to be big enough so you can erase around their faces here. So, and then you're just going to go ahead on the layer mask, which is this here. This is the layer mask. You're going to want to paint black on it to delete, like so. You can delete wherever you want. If you want some of the texture to stay on the person, you can. For me, I just like to delete everything. And if I delete too much on the side, like you see right here, I'm going to use white to bring it back in like that. So I'm just going to leave a little bit on the images side, so maybe a little bit on the hair, just to give a little bit more color. Just so it kind of blends into the background for the hair and stuff. Okay, now we're going to use this one here, and I'm going to set this into color burn. Oops, wrong one. That one goes to overlay. Make sure you click the right texture and click it to color burn. This is where we want to leave it at color burn. No, linear burn will look better. And I'm going to lower the opacity that it doesn't show up too harsh. And again, I'm going to add a layer mask, and using black, I'm going to delete from the texture on their faces, because I don't like the way that one looks on their face too much. Then I'm just going to kind of fade down here at the bottom of it where the texture meets, so we don't have a straight line. And then we're going to go and incorporate more. You can use a lot or a little bit, it's really up to you. I'm going to drag in this one here. It's a light stock. Gonna tilt it somewhat like so. Gonna have it right around. And I don't want to cover up most of the image, so I'm just going to bring it like so. And then we'll set this to screen. And I'm going to kind of move it a bit, like so. And I'm going to add a layer mask. I'm going to lower the opacity first, and then I'm going to kind of brush from the face. I'm going to make my brush really big, so I'm using the brackets to make them really big. I'm just going to kind of fade away like so, so that doesn't look like I took too much, and I'm going to bring it a little bit back where I want it to show up, which is basically the hair and the sides. I want to kind of keep Hyun-a's face clear and Jun-hyung's as well, and something like so. And if the brushes are too harsh, you can always lower the opacity and the flow, and then go ahead and try to go, and then it'll be a bit softer, so you can kind of have a little blended edge. So I'm really liking where the background is, so I'm going to leave it very simple. You can build up your background as big as you want.